Grok 4.5 did not come out of nowhere. To understand why, we need to go back. First, SpaceX acquired xAI. Then, they partnered with Cursor to train on trillions of tokens of Cursor data. We are talking here about real developers, real code bases, and real agentic workflows. After that, xAI became SpaceXAI, and they decided to acquire Cursor as well. And a few weeks later, SpaceXAI and Cursor release Grok 4.5. Before this, I used Grok 4.3 a lot, mainly for storytelling, and it was definitely the best model I had tested for that. It is really creative and it could tell a story without making everything sound like AI generic slop. But now they have combined that creativity with Cursor's developer data, and it is becoming something much more. We can see here built for more than software engineering. So a model built for coding, research, tool use, and most importantly, for long-running tasks. So in this video, I want to show you how good Grok 4.5 actually is, what it costs, and whether it can become one of the most useful agent models out there. This video is not sponsored by Cursor or by anyone, so I'm going to put in my own open source project. And that's Videorc, a fully open source recording studio and live streaming platform. It is looking magnificent. UI and UX are so good, I'm constantly polishing it, so you definitely need to try it out, and don't forget to give it a star. This is the time to start with your content creation. And this whole video is made in Videorc, by the way. So let's see now what Grok 4.5 can do. First thing is the foundation. Grok 4.5 is a mixture of experts model. That means that the whole model does not need to activate for every token. Different expert parts of the model can handle different pieces of a task. And Cursor says that training included trillions of tokens of Cursor data. That is the most important part. So those are real interactions between developers, agents, code bases, and software tools. So the model did not only learn what finished code looks like, it learned something about how agents move through a repository. And the training mix is broader than Composer 2.5. I really love Composer 2.5. In my opinion, it is really one awesome, crazy good model, and it draws on high-quality STEM tasks, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics tasks, research papers, and other knowledge work. So the previous models were helping create the work that trained the next one, and that is the real bet behind Grok 4.5. Train a model around a full agent loop, not only around writing the next block of code. Now let us look at a benchmark without pretending one number settles everything. So on Terminal Bench 2.1, Grok 4.5 scored 83.3%. That is basically tied with GPT 5.5 right here, which sits on 83.4%, and close to Fable 5 at 84.3, and it is above Opus 4.8 at 78.9%. On SWE-Bench Multilingual, we have Grok 4.5 scoring 78%, slightly above GPT 5.5 and below Opus 4.8. Then we have DeepSWE 1.0, this one is really interesting, 72% for Grok 4.5 high, and it is beating Opus 4.8 max. That is really crazy. And GPT 5.5 extra high is slightly above the Grok 4.5 in this case, and on SWE-Bench Pro, Grok scored 64.7%. That is better than GPT 5.5 extra high on this chart, and below Opus 4.8 at 69.2, and far below Fable 5 at just over 80%. So no, Grok 4.5 is not simply destroying every frontier model, it is competitive across several very hard agent benchmarks, and that is really important. If we go here to this xAI blog on faster than Flash model section, we can see that SpaceXAI says that Grok 4.5 produced an average of 15,954 tokens per SWE-Bench Pro task, while Opus 4.8 Max used 67,000. about 4 times more output tokens from Opus, which is really crazy when you think about it. And we need to be honest, Opus also solved more tasks on the benchmark. We can see here 69.2 from Opus 4.8 and 64.7 from Grok 4.5. So sometimes a model uses fewer tokens because it finished efficiently, but fewer tokens does not automatically mean a better model. But if Grok can get closer to frontier quality while using dramatically fewer tokens, that would be really, really crazy. And we need to talk also about the pricing, because that one is also really so competitive. Grok 4.5 is delivered at incredibly competitive cost compared to other leading models. So Grok 4.5 is priced at $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens. And the model also achieves roughly 2 times the token efficiency of comparable leading models. So imagine you have a model that costs something like Composer 2.5, which is fast like Composer 2.5, but it can do things like Opus 4.8. Sounds magical, but that is Grok 4.5. Now I want to show you my own benchmark. It is called 4Elements. You can find it on 4elements.dev and test it out yourself. It is fully open source. And here we have different models creating all 4 elements. So fire, air, earth, and water. And I used it with Grok 4.5. So we are going to compare it with some different models in this 3D world creation. And first, we are going to see, for example, Opus 4.8 Max Fire. So this is the fire that Opus 4.8 created with only one prompt. So I'm giving it here always just one prompt, and I'm pushing that to main. And we can now see Grok. So this is fire from Opus Max, and this is from Grok 4.5 High. And we can see that I even think that it did a little bit better than Opus 4.8 Max. Then we have Air here from Opus, which is pretty impressive. It even added some colors and here some kind of sky or something. And then we have Grok 4.5. And we can see here that it is looking pretty good. It even plays here a shadow, and we have this wind thingy. And if you compare it, for example, with Grok 4.3, you can definitely see here the improvement, which is really crazy, from 4.3 to 4.5. Then if we go again back to Opus 4.8 and we go to Earth, we have here some, I don't know what are these blobs, things that Opus created. And we have with Grok this one. And this is like some clear nature thing, and Earth. Looks pretty cool. It is not much better than Opus, but still better than Grok 4.3, that's for sure. And finally, we have Opus 4.8 Max Water, which is looking like this. So we have like some 2 surfaces of water and some bushes right here. And Grok really made a good thing with water. It even tried to create some kind of waterfall. And I didn't even put this waterfall. So this is probably that creative side of Grok. And this one looks really, really amazing. So definitely check out this one. I'm going to leave you 4elements.dev link in the description below. After that 4Elements benchmark, I gave it a test with various front-end tasks. First one was this contributors page right here. It is nothing special, but if you remember Grok 4.3, then you know that this page is actually awesome. After that, I tried this changelog. Now, this one looks really, really good. And the reason why is because I'm using many pre-built blocks from various shared CN libraries. And basically everything that Grok needed to do is to just merge it all like Lego. But this one is looking really awesome. You can see here that this is not some AI slop. It is not adding anything that is looking ugly. So it's following my design from the entire Videorc website, which is really cool. And after that, I gave it another little bit harder task than this one. I changed my entire hero section on my Agent Packs project using Grok 4.5. Now, this one is seriously impressive. This background is not made by Grok. This one comes from React Bits library, awesome library. I'm going to leave you also that link in the description. But this whole layout and arrangement of all the things were decided by Grok 4.5, which is really amazing. So I just told it, change my entire hero section. I want it to look like this, and it just did everything from one prompt. After that, it saw automatically that the content below is not matching the content on top, because here, for example, these cards, these were like this, a little bit narrow, but this one was coming from here. So it said, oh, we need to move this one as well. So it moved entire content like to be wide, like here, and not only here, but everywhere. So you can see here also the FAQ, the footer, and everything. Spacing is completely moved also on the pricing section. So everything is completely recreated by Grok 4.5, and that's idea from Grok 4.5, not from me. I just said, change this entire hero section, and also I added, of course, some smarter prompt from that, so it needs to be beautiful, etc., etc. And this one was seriously impressive. And finally, I have to say, unfortunately, Grok 4.5 miserably failed in my test for one serious complex task. So right here in my Videorc app, I have this preview window where I can see what am I currently recording, and you can see here on this preview, and I'm recording right now. So when this window was moved like this really fast, it was glitching, lagging, it was not working, and when I click it like this, it would just fail and die. And it was a serious bug. It was really hard also for GPT, for example, to find that problem. And unfortunately, Grok 4.5 failed as well, but Fable 5 fixed it, and that's probably now currently the best model for really complex and serious tasks. So, Grok 4.5 does not need to be the best model on every benchmark. The more important question is whether it gives you enough intelligence at enough speed for dramatically less money and fewer tokens. My recommendation is simple. Try it out, build something, compare versus other models, see how it fits in your workflow, and then decide what you think.